My name is Abraham Eisenstark, Eisenstark. Well, my earliest memory, I have to think just a second about that, is living with my mother and father in Chicago. We had gone first to New York City and lived in the typical ghetto section of the Lower East Side. But in Chicago, I do remember that. And in that attic, we did not have any electricity, so we had gas lamps, and we'd put them out at night, and didn't have any mattresses. I even slept on the floor. We were we were very poverty-stricken immigrants.
What was it like growing up in the Depression?
Very, very, very difficult. During the Depression, I figured if I could make 25 cents an hour for the rest of my life, I would be very happy and satisfied.
What's the hardest thing that you went through?
The hardest thing was getting my PhD, and I have to explain that a little bit. I was warned. You must remember that I grew up in an age of great prejudice, and I was told, I don't think anybody in the graduate school at the University of Illinois who was Jewish had ever graduated in microbiology. And I was told that I would never graduate because the chairman of the department was so biased against Jews that they would flunk me out. But I did, and I did okay, and so I got my PhD. When I lived in Denmark, all the scientists in Denmark are really good friends of each other because it's such a tiny little country. And so Niels Bohr would come and visit. Ola Mola was my professor's name. Holy Oly Moly we called him. And but Niels Bohr was the quietest, most modest individual. You would never believe it. He was just such a human being in every way.
Do you have a favorite scientific discovery?
Yes. The discovery of the reproduction DNA, and I immediately said to somebody very close to me, I said, that will be the next Nobel Prize. That was a real memory. I had spotted it as, this is really spectacular and will be the next Nobel Prize. And it was, but I'm not sure it was the next one, but it was a future Nobel Prize.
If you weren't a scientist, what would you have been instead?
Oh yes, a writer. Yes, absolutely a writer. I would love, in fact, that was my first ambition, was to be another Hemingway.
I remember you would paint a lot. You would make sure to paint about an hour a day. What got you into doing artwork and painting?
Oh yeah. Oh, I loved to do that. I loved to do the artwork. It all stems in a very interesting sort of way. When we lived in, I had a job in Kansas State University, Manhattan, Kansas, and the winters there can be really, really ugly and bitter. And so when my kids were just real little, they couldn't go outside and play, of course, because the weather wouldn't permit that. So they would be indoors, and I would do my drawings and paintings, and they would sit at my elbows and ooh and ah and be so pleased with it. And so that was a wonderful memory and very pleasure. And I continued that forever and ever.
What's the best part of growing older?
Oh, well, unfortunately, it's not a very pleasant thought, of course. And the best part is that memories. You have so many, many memories.
What are some memories that you like to revisit over and over again?
Well, I guess the birth of my first child, that was, yeah, that was really a great, happy event. And my other children too, but that becomes a bit redundant. We had 3 children, and that's a very favorable part of my life. My 3 children have just done so extremely well. I'm so proud of them, and my granddaughter brings me a great deal of joy. And my pride in my children is, I guess, the biggest single thing.
Is there any advice that you would give to a young person like myself?
Oh, well, in your case, I'd say go for it. You're doing real well, and that gives me a great pleasure, by the way, knowing that I might say that having students you're not the only one, but I've had other students that have gone on to great successes, and that's been very satisfying in my life. Yeah, that was my job, was to be a professor, and I managed to select and get very good students, and to feel as though I was good friends of theirs and see them get good positions and move on. So yes, I'm very happy about that.
What do you think is the secret to your longevity?
Well, I think the secret, of course, is heredity, I guess, which I have to give credit to. But I must say that I've had 2 marriages, one to my wife, Roma, and then after she passed away, I met Joan, who's my current wife, and they are so, both of them were so precious to me and so kind to me and so supportive. I mean, the feeling that there's somebody there for you. It's an abstract support, but it's very real, really. I have to give credit to the people that have been supportive of me.
If you could go back and talk to your 20-year-old self, what would you tell him?
Oh, a 20-year-old, I would tell them just to make the choices that would make you happy and not worry about things like money and whatnot. Learn as much as you can, and that can be a saving way of getting along in life.
What do you think is the meaning of life?
Well, it's the fact that the molecules can be put together to create life. The miracle of life is that it exists. The meaning of life is ethics, and my religion is ethics. What is kind to my friends and neighbors is ethical.
Is there anything you would do differently if you had the chance?
Yes, I think that's a possibility. I might have chosen another, not really, actually. I think I've done pretty well. I can't really be unhappy about anything.
Do you have any last words of wisdom?
Last words of wisdom? Oh, enjoy life, I guess. Yeah, life is meant to have pleasure and to feel as though you're enjoying it. Yeah.